Let's take a look briefly at Douglas Benefield's behavior. And I want you to keep in mind Bruce Ferris's testimony, who's the former cop who specialized in domestic violence, ran a domestic violence department, and then was so fascinated by it, went back to school to become a licensed mental health counselor. I thought he was a pretty persuasive witness. Doug Benefield shoots a gun into the ceiling of their kitchen to intimidate Ashley to stop speaking. Now, those are easy words for me to speak. And they fall on ears and you move on to the next thing. But I want you to try to imagine how it would feel.
Objection. Sustained.
How would one feel sitting in their kitchen, having their husband pull out a gun and actually fire it into the ceiling of their kitchen? Can you imagine the trauma of such a statement? Do you think that that's something that you forget about after 6 months, after a year? I think that's something you remember for the rest of your life. You never forget it. Throwing a loaded gun at Ashley Benefield, threatening suicide, not only to Ashley, but to his former wife, Renee. You've got a copy of her text message that she wrote to Doug, kicking her on their honeymoon and threatening suicide. So this is twice now, not only with Ashley, but with his prior wife. Punching the dog so hard that he knocked the dog unconscious. Bruce Ferris on the wheel. Now, I'm not an expert on the wheel. I don't pretend to know it anywhere near as well as apparently Miss O'Donnell does. But I can tell you with certainty that it has a provision, and Bruce Ferris elaborated on the fact that abusers tend to hurt pets because they have no empathy and because, check your notes, they can control the victim because the victim loves the pets. So hurt the pets, you keep the victim in line. You get compliance, control, and compliance. That's what they seek. Threw the cat down the stairs. Put a tracker on her car. The neighbor catches him in the yard at night. It wasn't in the house across the street. You've got the schematic of the houses in the neighborhood. You see Mr. Sand's house is right next door, literally, to the left of Ashley's house. Ashley's house has got the red dot on it. Cursing, yelling, screaming, belittling. Text messages. I'm in a murderous mood. I want to rid the earth of them. Take them out. That was about two guys having a conversation while Ashley was on a cruise. Doug Benefield was so demented that just hearing in the background two men speaking while Ashley was on a cruise makes him say he wants to take them out, rid the earth of them. That puts him in a murderous mood. Of course, Ashley at the time at 24 thinks, well, gee, that's kind of flattering. I guess this guy really loves me. Oh, that was just a little tip of the hat to what was to come. The South Carolina injunction, he violated it. There's no way around that. How about driving from South Carolina to Florida so that you could follow Ashley in the car? I mean, if that's not determination, what is? If that's not fixation, what is? If that's not obsession, what is? And most chilling, I thought, was Mr. Vincicaro, the realtor, who, while the injunction is in effect from South Carolina, look at the email between Doug Benefield and Vince Vincicaro. I asked him, did you have any dealings with Douglas Benefield? Yes, I did. What was it? He was a customer looking to buy a home. Where was that home? It was the house immediately behind Ashley Benefield's house. This is sick, ladies and gentlemen. This is while the domestic violence injunction is in effect. Not only that, but then he says to Mr. Vincicaro, well, I have to first check with Ashley. Well, you know that's a lie. He can't check with Ashley because the injunction doesn't allow him to communicate with Ashley. So what's the basis for that conclusion that Doug was that disturbed? Well, how about Doug's own admissions? You have the text messages where he admits to Ashley, I'm sorry, I apologize. And according to Miss O'Donnell, well, that should be the end of it. You apologized, it's over. Unfortunately, Bruce Ferris explained to you that that's the MO of an abuser. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. It'll never happen again. And it happens again. Time and time and time again. That's their pattern of behavior. And Bruce Ferris told you that. He explained that to you. Ashley Benefield got on the stand and told you about all of that. And I have a great discrepancy. I'm wondering if we were at the same trial between Miss O'Donnell's evaluation of Ashley's testimony and ours. But how about this, in addition, as a basis to establish how disturbed Doug was? How about the letter that Ashley Benefield leaves for Doug on November 17th?
Objection, not entered in evidence.
Sustained.
Judge, I was testified to by Miss Benefield. I'm just speaking to the letter, not quoting from the letter itself.
Okay.
So she told you that she left him a letter. She told you what she put in that letter. That letter recounted some of the things that he did. Some of the things that you heard about in the trial, such as shooting the gun, punching the dog.
Objection,